Hey, Nickie Brown here. No matter where you are and no matter what part of the world you're in, I hope that you're having a good day. So, I'm going to read another excerpt of As a Man Thinketh. So, if you've listened to the first two, I think it was two or three, I'm kind of picking up where I left off. And so it begins. Circumstances, however, are so complicated, though is so deeply rooted. Let me start over. Circumstances, however, are so complicated, thought is so deeply rooted, and the conditions of happiness vary so vastly with individuals that a man's entire soul condition, although it may be known to himself, cannot be judged by another from the external aspect of his life alone. A man may be honest in certain directions, yet suffer privations. A man may be dishonest in certain situations, yet acquire wealth. But the conclusion usually formed that the one man fails because of his particular honesty, and that the other prospers because of his particular dishonesty, is the result of a superficial judgment, which assumes that the honest man is almost totally corrupt. That the dishonest man is almost totally corrupt, and the honest man is almost entirely virtuous. In the light of a deeper knowledge and wilder experience, such judgment is found to be erroneous. The dishonest man may not have some admirable virtues which the other does not possess, and the honest man obnoxious vices which are absent in the other. The honest man reaps the good results of his honest thoughts and actions. He also brings upon himself the suffering which his vices produce. The dishonest man likewise garners his own suffering and happiness. So I thought that was a good one to kind of think about. And I have just one more. So let me finish just reading that, right? It is pleasing to human vanity to believe that one suffers because of one's virtue, but not until a man has extirpated every sickly, bitter, and impure thought from his mind and washed every sinful strain from his soul can he be in a position to know and declare that his sufferings are the result of his good and not of his bad qualities, and on the way to, yet long before he has reached that supreme perfection, he will have found working in his mind and life the great law which is absolutely just, and which cannot therefore give good for evil, evil for good. Possessed of such knowledge, he will then know, looking back upon his past ignorance and blindness, that his life is and always was justly ordered, and that all his past experiences, good and bad, were the equitable outworkings of his evolving yet unevolved self. Good thoughts and actions can never produce bad results. Bad thoughts and actions can never produce good results. This is but saying that nothing can come from corn but corn, nothing from nettles but nettles. Men understand this law in the natural world and work with it, but few understand it in the mental and moral world, though its operation there is just as simple and undeviating, and they therefore do not cooperate with it. Suffering is always the effect of thought in some direction. It is an indication that the individual is out of harmony with himself, with the law of his being. The sole and supreme use of suffering is to purity, to burn out all that is useless and impure. Suffering ceases for him who is pure. There could be no object in burning gold after the dross has been removed. And a perfectly pure and enlightened being could not suffer. The circumstances which a man encounters with suffering are a result of his own mental inharmony. The circumstances which a man encounters with blessedness are the result of his own mental harmony. Blessedness, not material possessions, is the measure of right thought. Wretchedness, not lack of material possessions, is the measure of wrong thought. A man may be cursed and rich. He may be blessed and poor. Blessedness and riches are only joined together when the riches are rightly and wisely used. And the poor man only descends into wretchedness when he regards his lot as a burden unjustly imposed. I hope that made sense. So basically, our thoughts become things. So as a man thinketh, so is he. Our thoughts become things. That's the law of nature. That's a law that you cannot change. It's a universal law. Again, whatever you say you are, or whatever you say after I am, you are. Right? Whether that be good or not so good. So that's why it's important to be mindful of the things that we say. Because we basically speak things into existence when we say certain words. And we don't realize what we are saying. I tell people about the B word, the BROKE word, right? Whatever you say after I am, you are right. That's what you are. And that's what you will continue to be, because you are manifesting it by speaking it, by saying it. If you say, oh, that this job is not fair because this happened to me, that happened to me, you're right. And it's going to continue to happen to you because of the way that you're thinking. You have to change the way you think about the situation, and the situation will change. And it sounds crazy, but it's true. So just keep that in mind. The next time you try to blame someone else for something and not take accountability and responsibility for your own actions, even if your own actions are that maybe you shouldn't have taken that job, right? Maybe you shouldn't have entered that relationship. Maybe, again, you shouldn't be mindful of what you're saying after I am, right? Because, again, whatever you say after I am, you are, and you're right. That's what you are. So, again, I hope that reading this was helpful. Again, it's outside of the parameter of how we normally think. So, for some people, it doesn't make sense, and it's not going to make sense, and I understand that too. But for those who are open to it and want things to change in their life, hopefully this gives you an opportunity to start making those changes, right? Changes for the better. Our thoughts become things. This is the law of nature. This is the secret, right? So, as always, love y'all. Later. Mwah.